just to get the win. Like lots of sim popping it like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose move on the move, but it's simple. Never give up if we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision that pay me is never the
Happy Tuesday, as always. Angela Duke, aka Mr. Mallet, here with Divots and Pivots, and with, as always, Bud Copeland joining me. Brought to you also by Acorn Hills. Get over to acornhillscode.com. Use discount code TBFY15 for your 15% discount on your purchase over there. Nate and the team saving the world one golf shirt at a time. You love to see it. But that's they help us out all the time. So Acorn Hills, shout out, get on over there. Bud, beautiful. Is it as warm up in Maine as it is down here in New Hampshire? Because it's been just dreadful the last couple of days.
Hotter than a whore in church. Give me a second. I gotta turn this fan off. It's too loud in the background.
Oh, see, now he's gonna start sweating. So, it's been rough.
Yeah, I didn't realize when I moved up north. Like I grew up in South Kakalaki, Florida, Georgia.
Right.
I didn't realize people built houses without central air. And so buying a house in Kennebunk, when everything, we get down to the bottom of it, and it was like, yeah, no central air. I kind of looked at my wife when we bought it, though. God bless, shout out the previous owners. They left us, as you can see, the beautiful classic New England ice box, the window ice box there. They left one for every room. So it's hot, but morale's hot.
Call them ice boxes?
No, I don't fucking know.
I was gonna say, I didn't know if that was a something thing I just never picked up on. I've spent some time, but I was gonna say I've never heard them called an ice box.
No, but tune in next week for our newest favorite segment, Southern Saying, or is Bud just fucking with Andrew?
Yeah,
well, we could have some fun with that.
And here's a hint: he's typically just fucking with me.
No, come on, I'm a lot nicer than that. Speaking of, let's get the niceties out of the way.
Yes.
How long till the big day? How many more days?
It's 34 days.
Not that anybody's counting.
Yeah,
we're TBD. Like I'm saying this publicly. We're TBD because we're supposed to be pinch hitting for my sister-in-law and taking care of her kid that weekend. But
right,
I mean, a little scuttlebutt just to get. That's good. You got your wine for the tea. But a little scuttlebutt is that the mother-in-law is like an hour away. We're like 10 minutes away. And so what they're thinking is, they're thinking is like, at the end of a vacation, we want to drive 10 minutes to pick up our kid, not an hour visit with the folks. You know how it goes. You can't just roll in and roll out. You have to like sit there, talk about your trip. With us, they can do that. They know that they can roll in and don't even slow down the car. We'll just chuck him through the window, through the passenger window as you go by. Now he's a great kid. We're looking forward to it. But grandma can get a little, I don't know, man. Grandmas are grandmas. And so she takes it personal a little bit any time that she's not called to watch the kid. And so I think we might at the last minute, they might decide to take it to grandma and whatever. If that's the case and our weekend frees up, we'll reach out and find out if there's still a seat there. But as of right now, we're supposed to be watching somebody else's child. I'm just airing your shit out right here, but you could probably just Google Mr. LeDuc and the knot. Or what's the situation with Chirins at this event?
Just our kids and my niece and nephew are the only children there, and obviously our kids are our groom, our bridal party. So
I not only endorse, but I respect that. Even the part where y'all are the exception. Yeah, it's our fucking day. If you don't like it, pound sand. Don't show up. So kudos to you guys. I thought about this about 20 minutes ago because Coop was downstairs rearranging the fridge, and there's your invitation just sitting there because it's sitting there holding its place on that weekend. We have like a big old calendar. It's just sitting right there with a question mark because we're trying to figure out what's going on with. Ironically enough, the boy's name is Rory, named after Rory. Super sports family. They're both phenomenal athletes. Obviously. Like this kid's going to be a stud. But no, we were sitting there looking at it, and I thought to myself, do you have a theme for your wedding? Now, I'm like, was there any, I'm not saying like, oh yeah, we decorated the after party with like, but is there any kind of theme behind it?
No, not really. It's really just when we came across stuff, we're like, oh, we like that. So the closest thing, like the colors, is like a burgundy, white, and with a gold accent. Like that's, I guess, the closest to a theme. Other than that, it's really just have fun. I don't know. There's no. We're too laid back. That's why, like 3 weeks ago, we realized, oh crap, we have like a month left. There's still so much to do. We should probably start doing it now.
I don't know whether to, now that you've been talking about it, because I don't know whether to sit on this and incorporate it later in life, or I'm going to forget about it if I don't say it out loud right now. I think my ADHD is not going to file this away into deep memory. So let's just put it out there on the YouTubes for everybody to see. My thought was, I was coming very close to ordering a congratulations gift and some play on words around a mulligan. Cause isn't this round 2 for both of y'all?
Yeah, 2 for me, 3 for her. Yes.
Hey, don't air her business. You could have just said yes. You could have just said yes.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows. It's all good.
I'm just saying, like, man, homie. So let's see here. There's like the Mallard mulligan begins. That's what, like, I was going to go somewhere with funny. That. Mr. Mallard's mulligan. Yeah, it's going to be fun when we get there. But we got about a month, like you said. So congratulations to you two. Love you both. You're phenomenal humans.
We get the bachelor festivities this weekend. Bachelor and bachelorette festivities this weekend.
I know. I'm bummed that I'm missing that as well. But that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about my pain later. Yeah. So there we have it. I got to tell you, dude, new house, kid entering kindergarten, the whole bit. I have not been, the cliches are all true. I have not been consuming as much golf on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. I wish I would have screenshotted all of the different texts and had it prepared for a graphic tonight. And it was around early afternoon. I think you and I exchanged. I was talking to my buddy about it. Everybody, as soon as Fleetwood was tied at the top, everybody's like, "Oh God, how's it gonna?
Here we go again.
How's it gonna happen? How's it gonna happen?" But
and it happened just like it always happens.
But that's what we said about Rory on Sunday. I mean, I got the receipts to prove that too. I was the only one on my on like all these different, just to say, like, because eventually something's got to give. It doesn't feel right for Fairway Jesus. Honestly, I think that as close as he's been, as good as he's getting, I would say go ahead and I might put a unit on him at Eastlake just as a dark horse, because the stories that we've been getting this year, the golf gods are giving us what we want. Last year, they primed us with Scottie winning 8. This year, they come back with Scottie getting a couple of more jewels for that crown, but then spreading the wealth around. And we got this Ben Griffin guy who popped up everywhere. We'll more to him later. Yes, so I think that not only have the golf god, I mean, then they give us Rory. The golf gods have tipped their hat at what they have in store. I think Tommy Fleetwood might be lurking late at Eastlake. So put that in your pipe and smoke it early.
I could definitely see it.
Well, of course not. It's not like a hot take. The dude's it's really good.
He's a really good golfer. I think what was sad to see, it was his post-round interview. When they interviewed him literally right next to the green, his post-round interview there. It was the first time I've seen him speechless. You could tell he had no clue what to say to the question of, like, I can't believe this happened again, basically. And he got words out, but they were very much loosely put together. So I felt bad for the guy in that interview, because I was like, man, he's obviously just completely, like, at a loss of words. He has no clue how this happened again. And it was I think it was like a 6-foot putt or something like that, or was it longer than that? I feel like it was somewhere around a 6 or 7 foot putt on 17 there that he just couldn't get to go down. And then of course we see Justin Rose just again on a Sunday in a big spot fly up the leaderboard and force a playoff. It's fun to watch.
And good for Rosie. I mean, he had to be the gracious loser at Augusta earlier this year. He's in his kind of second, third act, or probably his third act, you would say, if you want, because I don't know if there's gonna be another one after this at this level. And I don't mean this season. I mean this wave he's on. We might see Rosie doing this for another 3-4 years, because again, he's taking care of himself, the training regimen, etc. Ad nauseum, ad infinitum. Back to my trying to read the tea leaves and the golf gods and what they're giving us. I'm glad they gave Rosie his breakthrough here, because I mean, although watch out, he could just keep plowing right through, because he's old enough and chiseled or grizzled enough to just not give a shit and not worry about going back to back as hard. This, that, and the other.
I don't want to be getting hot right before the Ryder Cup too, because that's terrifying.
And that was an interesting exchange we had too, because I was kind of saying, like, with Tommy, I similarly want him to. We saw what happened to Rory after Augusta when the monkey was taken off his back, and there was the letdown for a couple months until he got back in form. Don't blame him. It's like your entire life up to that one moment, and then you got Scottie going, "What's it all mean?" So if we could get Mr. Fleetwood, because if he misses out on the winner's circle, Well, all he's got is the Ryder Cup. I mean, he is Billy Badass. Him and Frankie Molinari, years ago, going I think 5-0 is it or 4-0 together, and then they both won their singles. It's just crazy shit that what happens with him in that state. And so again, I'm kind of just hoping for some juju because let's just get into Ryder Cup right off the rip. I mean, there's not much to recap from we'll talk about Bubble Boys and all that kind of stuff. Yes. But I think the biggest story that every week so far, right after what happened last weekend, is how does this affect the Ryder Cup? So let's get into it on the opposite side, though. And I'm not saying that one's worse than the other. I'm just saying that's why I was going like, please God, let Tommy win, just so we don't have to face a pissed off Tommy, in Bethpage. The crowds, everything's already going to get it. I got a friend down in that area, lives on Long Island, golf guy, similar to me, where most of his career was in camping, but he's just a super golf guy. I asked him, I said, "You going to try to make it out to Bethpage?" He's like, "Tickets are going for nothing short of 1,000, easy, just to walk in the door."
That's tough. It's all good. It's all good. Smitty, thanks for joining.
My guy. Before we get into like the fun stuff about the Ryder Cup,
yes,
how do we get a hold of this? How do we make it more like, I don't know, the Savannah Bananas, where 80,000 is in the stadium, but it's $40 to $75 because they're gonna. Does it mean that another we just got to go more corporate money to offset? Like what's the giving point? Because right now, some of this is turning into also just irresponsible fucking economics. You hear about these people maxing out credit cards with 25% APR when they're already, a mortgage and a boat payment, all that kind of stuff. Oh, dog, it's Bethpage. It's once in a lifetime.
Yeah, but then unfortunately, we'll turn around if people stop spending irresponsibly in this smaller crowds. Well, we're going to turn around and bitch about how the crowds are small. So it's like this double-edged sword. I agree. There's got to be.
The crowds won't get smaller if you drop the prices. The crowd sizes aren't.
I know. I'm saying in that scenario, if the prices stay the same and people stop spending irresponsibly, that's what I'm saying. But no, I think it would have to. So it would have to be the more money coming from corporate to make up the losses for the big names that are making profit. The big companies making profit off this, the tour and all that, or they just have to live with the fact of chalking this up to a almost more like an Olympic event kind of thing, like where it's really not about making the money at that point. It's really about the nation and the pride and the experience. We seem to be in this crossroads of kind of what the core belief and value of the Ryder Cup is, because right now it's a prime time to make money off of it because it's never been more popular than it is now. TV, and that's the thing. They should be able to offset it just with the TV viewership and the rights. Like they can probably sign some new contracts here after, I don't know when their rights are up for that or whatever, what those contracts look like. But with how much more popular it's getting, I bet they could get some more money out of their contracts for the TV deals and whatnot. So there's got to be a way, because $1,000 just to get in the door for one day or whatever that gets you in for. That's too much. I want the people. And let's be honest, a lot of the people who are going to be the rowdiest and then, the biggest, most passionate people can't afford that. Like, I'm not saying that people who can afford it aren't like that, but there's a little bit of the Happy Gilmore effect on it.
Happy Gilmore effect. Do it for the people. I go back to Savannah Bananas, where that guy probably easily at any given point could have and could still. I look like I'm wearing a do-rag.
So I was actually just thinking the same thing.
It's a full ball cap. I'm not.
When you adjusted it looks so flexible. I thought it was for a second.
I just thought about myself, like, people are going to think, like, because I've got just like the random, it's not a random gray t-shirt. This is the ranch where we went horseback riding and everything. But the way it's set up, I do look like this could be a prison podcast where, I did a hard 6 to 8 months in Yosemite minimum security. The U.S. Ryder Cup impact. Let's get back to this real quick. Yeah. Affordability, whatever, yank. We'll all figure it out. But I was thinking about the Savannah Bananas. A guy who could have sold out and probably still could, and he never did. Never hasn't taken in any investors. He's going to sell this at some point. He'll ride the wave as long as it might be 20 years, but he's going to ride the wave as long as he and his wife are loving what they do, and they have. It's like they're just holding this. They're just holding a bunch of crypto, and they're going to cash out later on whenever they want to. The Ryder Cup standings, and here's kind of I'll save my question for a second. So we got Scottie Scheffler, JJ Spawn, Xander Schauffele, all automatically in. Great.
Right.
The gap between Justin Thomas and Harris English is not insurmountable, especially in these FedEx Cup scenarios where I think they get more points. But at the same time, I think you're still going to take JT. I think we're definitely taking Bryson. I don't think you leave Russell Henley out of there on just because you're not a big name. I think 4, 5, and they're going to be locked in anyways here shortly.
Yeah, they say that way, but no, I think even if he falls out of the 6, I think he's got.
Colin Morikawa has been up there. Ben Griffin is the interesting one.
But
you had Lucas Glover a couple of years ago win twice in the fucking FedEx Cup and get left behind. So the argument that Ben Griffin won twice on tour this year, no disrespect to that, a lifetime fucking achievement, but it's just not enough when you're splicing hairs at this elite level. You got guys behind him with multiple majors, let alone 2 wins on the PGA Tour this year. So is it time to maybe consider that Benny Shades might need to be staying home?
I think it's too hard to keep him off the scene with how well he's playing, because even without the wins,
what did he do this week?
Let me pull it up exactly what his finish was. But even without the win, let's see here. He finished 9th this past week. He finished 11th at the Wyndham. Now he did miss the cut at the Open, so like that could easily be a chalk. But that was first time over. Well, here's the thing: it's first time across the pond.
Right. Well, this would be first time playing. This level of. So let's play our game. We know we got our 6. Who else? Who else are you rounding it out with?
So JT and Colin are definitely like you said. Again, Colin is coming back into form right now, which is great. So they're locked basically in my eyes.
So we agree we're filling 4 spots at this point with JT and Colin both on there. I agree.
Yes, yeah. I still put Ben Griffin in there. I would still want Keegan playing because he's also still playing good. And I like the idea of a playing captain. I think that too much is starting to be made.
I'm pretty sold that it's gonna happen now, and it's just kind of too many people would be like, "Come on, wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool?" Right. And then the marketing just first time since Arnold Palmer, and I mean, you have a whole bit.
You go for that gets us to what 10 right there. Yeah, that gets us to 10. So 2 more. I'm going to Cameron Young and Patrick Cantlay. I'm still on that train from last week. Nothing's really changed there because Cameron Young is continuing to play well. I think Cantlay is where it gets interesting because Cantlay's not necessarily in the greatest form. So I would be willing to listen to arguments on Sam Burns or Brian Harman maybe because Brian Harman can, but I don't feel great about Brian Harman. I know I went right over Maverick McNeely and Andrew Novak.
There's a reason for that.
This is going to be a lame excuse, but they're just not Ryder Cup names in my eyes.
That's fair. Ben Griffin wouldn't be Ben Griffin without the wins. If he was up there with the points but didn't have the wins, we'd be saying the same thing about Ben Griffin.
But Ben Griffin has this personality about him too. He's got the aviator shades now. He's got this
not
look now.
Fucking care less about personality.
No, but I'm just saying he's recognizable. He's recognizable, and I think part of it when it comes to this is you want guys that the crowd's going to get behind and not look at them already feel like there's an excuse to questioning why they're there. So I still think it's Young and Cantlay, but I'm starting to waver on Cantlay a little bit. And this week's gonna. Well, let's see. Where is he in the? He's safely in right now. 19. Brian Harmon's at 18.
Cantlay also won the event last time it was played at Paynes Valley here. So I mean, I think I'm with you on everything except Ben Griffin. I'm even with you on Captain Keegan. I think Benny Blades you leave at home, and
so you're still putting Sam Burns in. Then is that what you're doing?
No,
because I know you mentioned him in the past. So who's taking Griffin's spot then?
He's at 20 right now, but his ascension and
your boy. I know the internet dropped out there a little bit but his internet's been a struggle. But I already know what he's going to say. This doesn't shock me at all. He's and hopefully we get him back here so we can explain the reason by that. Okay, now you're back.
Accurate. You read my mind. Akshay, AB, bring him down. He's a Walker Cupper. If he can perform well enough to keep going up, where he crept in, I want to say the top 50. Hey Siri, where is Akshay Bhatia in the FedEx Cup point standings?
He's right on the line, I believe.
Yeah, I want to say he's going to be.
Whereas,
That's my point.
He's on the line of the top 30. Actually, he's at 29.
Right. If he can maintain the top 30, get to East Lake,
Mm-hmm.
and then finish top 20. If he
I
can
don't mind
T20,
that.
if he can T20 at East Lake, I say suit him up because the kid's a freaking stud. And you want to talk about a personality or recognizable presence. He's got a bigger social media footprint right now than Ben Griffin, but Ben Griffin is a different one. So let's go back to that. I love what he's done. And when I said his personality doesn't fucking matter. No, I mean, like,
I get
marketability and, oh my God, their YouTube audience is this and that. Yes and no. I like your angle of, no, that kind of accessibility is going to fill up the crowd. Bryson's going to get his reaction, not because he's won all these U.S. Opens and whatever, this, that, and the other, because he's fucking Bryson. And everybody's now a broski Bryson and all that kind of stuff. I love it. What's funny? A name that neither one of us said is Brooksy, which I think he had to show up and show out a little bit more in the
he just
considered.
He just didn't, unfortunately. Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the other side, as you were discovering on Twitter the other day, the European team is going to have some picks, and they're going to have some studs with Sepp Straka getting in there. Joaquin Neiman will not be playing this year. He's going to be on the President's Cup opposition next year, representing his South American.
We don't even.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? See, this is where you think I'm actually trying to dig into that. I wasn't trying to bring up old shit. I was trying to see if you could hold it together while I mentioned something.
No, I can't.
Real quick though, there's only going to be one live golfer on the USA team. Europe's probably going to have 3 with John Rahm. Tyrrell.
Yeah, Hatton's going to be locked in, it seems like.
Who else is Rahm, Tyrrell, Hatton, and then maybe Sergio. They might bring back the old goat over some young whippersnappers. Nah, they won't. He would have had to play better.
Rahm's a lock to get a captain's pick. I think he is in that crowd. Yeah, even though he's down at 22, I think he's still a lock.
$1,000,000,000. John Rahm's the exception to all the arguments. The whole World of Golf rankings, Ryder Cup, he's the exception. The system's not broken. You just have an outlier in John Rahm. And I think the rest of the outliers have kind of softened and fallen down now. And we're starting to see who the future and who the faces of golf are going to be, because another one that's going to be opposite of us. So let's go through this European side. I love talking to people. There's guys who think that because it's going to be Beth Page, the bros are going to be out there. Trump's going to do a flyover, a bald eagle's going to jack off, it's like, come on, settle down, guys. This is going to be settled on the golf course. And quite frankly, Europeans have known team golf way better than we have in recent history. And again, I think I said it last week. I want to see how we fill our mini camp time after the FedEx Cup playoffs until the Ryder Cup, because I really think that DP World Tour crew, they just have a leg up because they're going to stay in that kind of competition. But you go down that list, and okay, we got Rahm, we got Tyrrell Hatton, and I can't remember who was the third liver that I was like, God, he's probably going to get picked. It might have been Moronk from last time because he got hosed. But even if you've got those two, some of the names that are going to be coming out there, we said Tommy Fleetwood, we said Justin Rose, Rory McIlroy. God, who's the one that really I was just thinking about scares the shit out of me? Ludwig Oberg, who slapped us around last time, coming right out the gates. No fear whatsoever. We're gonna have to deal with that motherfucker for the next 30 years. Yeah. And so
Shane Lowry.
Thank you. Let's get the European.
So right now, obviously, Rory, Justin Rose, Tommy Fleetwood locked in. They qualified already. They're not going anywhere. Your 4, 5, 6 guys are Bobby Mack, Tyrrell Hatton, and Sepp Straka. So
I don't worry about Bobby Mack. Watch out for Sepp though. Whatever personal's going on with him, if it's like a life tragedy, I think he'll be back by this no matter what. Yeah. No,
I agree. I think, but we'll see as we get more information on that. But if you don't know what we're talking about, Sepp Straka withdrew from the tournament this week from the BMW for a personal family matter. So not too much else has been said about it at this point. But Sepp Straka will not be playing this week in the BMW. And like I was saying, we'll see how that might affect.
All right. So we got Bobby Mack, Tyrrell, and Sepp Straka.
Right. That's
I love that Tyrrell, the live guy, is just up there with Bryson. So. And then we agree John Rahm's up there. So we got 7 strong. They're going to bring Shaner.
Going to be. Yeah. Ludwig is going to be. So now we're at 9.
You don't leave Victor at home at 10. You just don't.
No,
Victor Hovland.
He's too close. So that's.
And then Matty Fitzpatrick at 12 is going to probably get a nod as well.
Right, so that leaves us one spot. Where
Like one spot.
Do we bring back one of? Well, not we. Do they bring back one of the Brother Hoygards? Matt Wallace has been playing well this year, so like he's right there.
Aaron Rye would be a dark horse candidate. Sorry, don't cancel me for that spot. But I think you're right. I think it's down to that one spot, and it's gonna be battle. Those names are scary, man, and I get it.
Yeah, a strong ass team.
But JJ Spawn, Russell Henley, Harris English, they don't inspire the same amount of fear. And sometimes that plays into our favor. We do a good underdog because I think everybody wants to be the underdog. I mean, you look at Tom Brady and like nobody gives us respect. Nobody thought we had a chance. Bro, y'all were like 3-1 odds at the beginning of the season. I think everybody was giving you a chance.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. They hit a point where they were trying to force some bulletin board material, and I get it. Do what you got to do to win, whatever. No, you're right though. These names for the USA don't necessarily instill fear, and part of me is gonna be very interested in how Keegan handles the captain's picks. Like, I think that would be. I don't think he's going to look at it and be from that standpoint like, oh, we need some guys with bigger pop necessarily to where he's reaching all the way down to, Finau at 24 or something like that. Or even Spieth is down there at 28. Like, I think those guys are unfortunately missing out this time. So, yeah, we'll see. I think Europe's scary, but I still like what the U.S. is going to be putting together here, at least what it looks like they're going to be putting together. So Ryder Cup, here we come. Yeah, so I do want to ask you, because we'll get back to kind of the playoffs here now. And you said you didn't watch too much. You've got a lot of stuff going on, so you didn't watch too much of this past week. Did you see any of the new shot tracer from the TV broadcast? Have you seen any of that with the color gradation for whether it's going to be a good shot or a bad shot? Immediately. All right, so Riggsy. So I noticed it when I was watching it, and then I saw Riggsy from Foreplay. He was talking about it on their show as well, and I do agree with him here that. So if you don't know what it is, so basically now camera angle kind of back out to the right, so you can see the fairway, and they hit their shot, and then the tracer immediately shoots out and starts green, and then if it's going left, right, or if it's heading towards water or bunker or whatever, the tracer will change color to red. So it's basically telling you if the shot is currently in shape to be a good shot or a bad shot. I don't like it because, as Riggsy put it perfectly, it takes the suspense out of watching golf on TV. And if the suspense is kind of all we got when it comes to watching golf on TV to make it, grab your attention, unfortunately. So it's, to look at it and immediately know this ball is going to go to the water. No, I want that zoomed in look on the ball and be guessing, okay, can I tell? Is this ball going left? Is this ball going right? Is it going right down the middle? Like, I want those, 5 seconds to sit there and try to guess myself, see what the announcers say about the shot to try to gather what's going on. I don't want the TV to tell me immediately that when the club hits the ball that the shot's going to suck or not.
I might love this. So I sent my roommate something the other day. It was, you can find a study. There's this website. It's like Studies Show. You can find a study that supports anything. And I think it's pronounced Pubity or Pubity, Pubity. It's a social media account that has decent stuff sometimes.
Okay.
Anyways, they said studies show that people who drink their coffee black are more likely to be psychopaths.
I've heard that one.
I drink my coffee black. I sent that to my wife. And she referenced kind of another thing that makes me a psycho sometimes, or at least the way she says psycho. No disrespect to the mentally ill or the true psychopaths out there. I just don't want you coming for me. But what you just pointed out, all I thought to myself was, there's people who will go onto YouTube and instead of watching an NFL game, they'll say, show me all active plays in 27 minutes. And so it'll just be a mega clip of every single snap. And as soon as it just goes whistle to snap, whistle to snap, whistle to snap.
Yep.
That's how I consume a lot of football games because I don't have time to sit around. It's not that, let me rephrase that. I'm not so fucking important. I can't sit there for 3.5 hours and wait and I just can't do it. Like I will DVR a football game and then come in halfway through, like when I know it's already late in the second half or middle second half, and I'll just turn my phone off and then I'll just sit there and DVR go boom, boom,
See,
boom.
football is the one thing I can sit down and sit still for.
Oh, I can't. I just fucking hate it.
It's the one thing.
Like movies, if I see a movie or if I see a clip on social media, I'm like, oh damn, that looks interesting as hell. I'll find out what the movie is, go to the Wikipedia page and just read the plot summary. And I don't need to watch the movie now. Like, okay, cool. I know I visually have like the characters from that clip in my brain. And I'm like, ooh, huh, okay, nice. And I don't know. I think it's because I really want to spend more time like breaking down and analyzing the U.S. Amateur at the Olympic Club out in San Francisco. Not like this moment. Like I can't. And even just shows. I think one of the new shows that I kind of got obsessed with. I did this with Yellowstone. I watched the first episode or 2 episodes. They shoot a horse in like the first 30 seconds. I'm like, this can be fucked. And then like at one point he's talking about like battling cancer. And I'm like, no, I'm out. I was like, I want to see more of like Rip punching guys and Beth telling, smashing bottles against bitches' faces. So I went and found a website. Oh, it's worth it. It's so good. My social media is choked with a lot of clips from it. So that's how I feel like I've seen the series enough, because I've watched enough of those clips and read all of the series like synopsis.
Right.
So I'm doing that with Sons of Anarchy. Did you ever watch that show?
So I've seen a ton of clips from it, same thing, and I've heard a lot about it because my uncle and cousin were big into it. But it's a show that I would 100% get down to watch.
You would until until you see the scene where they burn some dude's daughter right in front of them.
Oh.
Thanks. I'm out. Like, yeah. Well, I mean, it's like it's 20 years. I think the show's been on or something.
I know.
Spoiler. But like, that's the kind of stuff. When I saw that clip on social media, I was like, well, no, I can't. I emotionally, as a father, no, just as a human, you think about that. But then when you're a parent, on top of that, the hypothetical, your worst nightmares. But like, just right in front of you, I was like, nope, don't need to. But I had to find out, like, did they ever get the guy? Like, the way that he gets vengeance is pretty dope. So yeah, highly recommend the Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah,
these are the hot topics coming in. I've been busy. I've been paying attention to Live Golf. We've been moving. We've been talking about the Ryder Cup. So, back to the U.S. Amateur.
Yes. Yeah. You brought that up.
What is your earliest memory? And I mean that, like, when did this golf tournament ever come onto your radar as a human?
Probably when I met you.
I love the honesty in that answer.
Honestly, yeah, because it's like, even when I was watching, started to get into golf many years before that, like I was still just watching PGA. Right,
I would say football and basketball might be the only 2 sports where somebody might get into the amateur sport before they actually check out the professional. There's not,
right.
So golf, it makes sense that unless you're into it from, like you play it and everything, you don't pay attention to it. I saw the stat because it gets brought up every year, and it really is one of the most barbarically impossible runs of golf. It'll never be. It just simply won't, especially now with the parity and the parity of talent at all levels and the junior and the amateur level. But Tiger Woods was when it first came onto my scene, because I got into golf when I was about 10, 11, 12. That was kind of when I was in middle school. We had moved, didn't know anybody, but there was a driving range in my neighborhood that had free balls for residents and members. And so I would just go up there and knock balls around. So it was that summer that Tiger won his first U.S. Amateur. And the reason I remember it was because he was at TPC Sawgrass, and that was when around the time I had realized in my family, like, wait, we used to like go out there and stuff. And my mom shows me pictures, and I was all pissed off. And that's when I found out that they had rejoined. We went out there to play like the next year. But that's when I remember, seeing Tiger with that straw hat and the pink and the stripe, and the Buddy Mariucci is who he was playing, this famous amateur who kind of slapped around anybody who had up and comer, and he was the king, swinging dick. Trip Cuny, he took down on one of these as well. So he had a really long list of victors. But before that, if you don't know, then I don't know how you're listening to this show and you don't know this, but the idea that Tiger Woods won 3 consecutive U.S. junior amateurs and then backed it up with 3 consecutive U.S. amateurs. It's a 6-year runway of basically world #1 golf. If you want to think about it that way, the people across the ponds are going to be like, blimey, we are amateur. Yeah, I know you have your own tournaments, but let's be honest, it's Tiger fucking Woods. So 6 years I mean, that would be the equivalent of, I don't know, like a football player playing 5 years. You know, he gets that 5th year of eligibility because the NCAA can't get over money that they're making, so they give him another year, call it medical,
Exactly.
and then
the
go
redshirt
5 years.
system baffles me. It doesn't even make any sense.
They'd be going like 5 for 5 with national titles or 5 Heismans. It's just the mind-bogglingness of it. And that's not even his lead stat. The only reason it's leading this week is because, again, the U.S. Amateur is taking place out at the Olympic Club. For the uninitiated, the U.S. Amateur, they do 36 holes of stroke play, which they just concluded today, and then the top 64. I think it's 64. Top 64 go into match play, with the finals being 36 holes. And you hear some of these names, and especially I know you brought them up last week. I was so proud of you for mentioning this. But Jackson Koiven is the world #1 amateur. He's up and playing in this. Ben James. I have a guy who I think is going to be a familiar name and face. And last time I checked, he was T29. So where is my U.S. amateur?
You're about to bring up this. Oh no, you talk quick.
Where the fuck did you go? I don't like these newfangled phones. Oh, there we go. Where is this leaderboard? Boop, boop. John Daly 2. John Daly Jr. Where are you at? He was sitting at 29. Where'd he finish the day? Did he drop out? No. Where'd you go? Did he drop out at 64? No, he had to have gone up. There's no way that he retreated. But you look at the top of this real quick. Preston Stout, Tommy Morrison, Miles Russell, the little lefty, Miles Russell, Mr. Grin and TaylorMade, the child prodigy who I want to say is going to Alabama, I think, or Florida State. I can't remember which one. Miles Russell, he's in 3rd right now. Who else is up there? From Jackson Koiven, T7. Luke Poulter, Ian Poulter's son. He's a University of Florida standout. He's T13. John Daly 2. There he is. T23 +1 or +1 overall. Yeah, I just scrolled by. Right the fuck past him. But he just won the Southern Amateur this year, which is another one of those kind of top tier. I would say it's almost like winning one of the horse races leading up to the Kentucky Derby or the Preakness. Which I used to go to every year, called the Carolina Cup. I went twice actually every year. I just knew people who went every year, and I went twice. And I can't talk about what I did in public. I can talk about the pimento cheese sandwiches. There was like a restaurant the next day. We were all so freaking hung chow. Which, if you don't know what hung chow is, it's just a slang term for hungover. We were so fucking hung chow that we all went to this restaurant it slathers pimento cheese on everything, every sandwich, everything, every French fries, tater tots, whatever you get it, pimento cheese. John Daly 2 sitting there at T23. Who's down? Any more familiar names that we should be looking out for? And I say familiar as Ben James, T32. Ben James, the #2 amateur golfer in the world. He is #1 in your hearts. I think he won the individual stroke play championship for NCAAs this year. University of Virginia dude. Luke Colton. There's another name that is familiar, but I can't imagine why. We're thinking of Luke Clanton, but that's different.
No, I'm trying to look up real fast as you're talking here, looking up to see where some of the local guys representing, New Hampshire and Mass are, where they're falling so far. So far, no better than T69. Unfortunately, and that's
who?
The guy from New Hampshire. Where was he? Josiah Hakala, T68. But then I was trying to find the guy from Mass who won the Downs.
Yeah,
I was trying to find him. But it's Ryan Downs.
Yeah, he shot like 4 under day one. Did he just implode?
I don't see him anywhere unless I missed him too.
Which I missed John Daly the second.
Right. When you're trying to scroll quickly, it's easy to just go right past, I guess. Now, where the hell is Downs at then?
Oh, there he is. Ryan Downs, T48.
Oh, okay. Right, so I missed him. I went right past him. Okay.
Oh, he shot +5 day 2. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's why. So you said he shot 4 under on day 1 though. So it was about to be really good.
4 or 5 under, something like that, I think. So yeah, no, he's going to be in the match play. I'm trying to find the match play brackets just to see what's what, but can't get that far. How much So yeah, there. Put the U.S. Amateur in your pipe and smoke it. This Sunday, it's going to be a big grueling. I would say after the golf's longest day, which is the Monday U.S. Open final qualifying, this is the next biggest thing in U.S. golf. And we just had the U.S. Women's Amateur that wrapped up. A little lefty. I think she was a lefty, but it's not Megan. It's like Mega. It's like Megha, and at first I was like, are these all typos? Or I think it's like Mega Gone or something like that. Ganne.
Okay.
But like my daughter and I were sitting there watching, and I love it because she's like, "Daddy, golf," and she speaks like a little human now. She's 5. It's not like, Dad. I wish it was, but no, she'll be like, "Daddy, are you watching golf?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Ooh, those are girls," and I'm like, "That's right. Sit down, young lady.
Exactly. Let's go.
We're gonna do this horseback riding and hockey and get you in some real expensive sports." Actually, we just signed her up for soccer. I'm excited about that.
Oh, that's nice, easy maintenance.
And then she starts kindergarten in a couple weeks too.
Exciting stuff. Those are big milestones. First soccer and kindergarten.
How did I get on this? Oh, because I was thinking about my daughter because Taylor Swift in the news changing gears.
Yeah, I saw that.
Can't you just let us have anything? You know what I mean? Like, did she really have to? I would like to go a couple days without her in my face. I don't care that her boyfriend is one of the most popular. Like, honestly, the biggest part of that story for me, all it did was make me think about how good Travis Kelce was in Happy Gilmore 2. That's it. And that
he was.
And that this relationship feels like a setup. Even the way that they were sitting next to each other on the screen. I'm just being a hater just for fun.
I think they're just very PR aware. I think they obviously both have crazy PR training. I think they're just very aware. I think they're just aware, yeah.
Which is also why I think the most not successful, but probably the most likable Kelce out of all of this to emerge is Jason. No, Jason's wife.
Oh, his wife. Yes. I forget her first name too. But yes, you're right. Everyone.
I know, how horrible is that? We're just saying like everybody loves her. We're like, what the fuck?
She's so popular. Yeah.
But she is. She's been the best part about this whole show. Well, anything that humanizes them.
No, I agree. But I'm kind of over the Kelce brother show anyway. It's just like I feel like it had its peak already. Now let's move on to a different podcast, like Divots and Pivots. Like let's give us a chance. Speaking of class acts, though. How did you see any clips of Scottie's meltdown this past weekend?
No, let me pull this up in real time. I saw you reference it.
Yeah,
and I was like, don't go back until.
Yeah, so it wasn't like crazy outrageous or anything, but he definitely slammed his club in the bunker a few times. He yelled at himself a lot. And then there was also another tee shot or whatever where he was basically just giving himself crap as he was walking down the fairway, very audibly complaining about. I think the words he was saying was, "Can I just get one good lie today?" or something like that. He was complaining with the lies basically. So people were, and when I say people, I mean social media, were using it as an opportunity to try to jump on Scottie to be like, "Oh, how dare he act like that? He's got to, learn etiquette on golf, whatnot." We've all been there. I'm cool with it. I don't care. Honestly, it's kind of nice to see the world number one, who is very even keeled, not much of a over the top personality. It's kind of fun to see him blow his top a little bit every now and then. So I'm all right with it. I show me the personality, Scottie. Show us that it's nice to see that this does mean something, even though people were misconstruing his words and thinking he didn't care. Prove to them that it means something by, beating up a bunker a little bit. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, dropping your club and kicking at it, self-doubt talk. Yeah, no, there's nothing there. That's stupid. It's people fishing.
Exactly, and that's exactly what it was. And even if there was more there, it's not like he was cussing out a fan or throwing stuff into the crowd. Like, that's when it crosses the line. If it's all self-deprecating, then I'm cool with it.
Well, I think that's also the John Rahm thing. Once people realize that, like, he's not here for you, he doesn't care about you. He's blowing up at himself because he has to let the steam go and then move on.
Exactly.
It was almost the John McEnroe. John McEnroe knew that he was performative, but Jimmy Connors, same kind of way. That's just steely-eyed. I'm going to just get it out of my system and move on. A couple grunts, couple yells, couple yells, move on. Sounds like prom night. Speaking of moving on, There was a
Oh my
question
God.
I meant to ask you until my sexist joke just now. Not sexless, timeless.
The-
Sexless?
You just said
Sexless?
sexless, yeah.
Just like my prom night. Scottie Scheffler's meltdown. Don't really care about that, but it did lead me to there we go. FedEx Cup standings. Let's see who is around this bubble down at 50.
yes,
So
let's
one of the
take a
cool
look.
things that we do have going, and actually I want to ask one question first.
Okay.
And I think we're all on board with this.
All two of
But
us.
I mean, like everybody,
Oh,
unless it is a medical or personal and cleared. So like Sepp Straka got a personal stuff. I think you
Right.
should still have to submit to like the policy board. Like, hey, this is what it is. Like, you know, like my uncle has stage 3 this, or like, hey, I just got a phone call that my basement's flooded and yada, 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 yada. Like stuff that genuinely it's like, maybe I have to go handle, or it's family business, you know,
sure.
like stuff that would make you call in sick for work. Let's put it that way. Like they're
Okay.
just like us. Maybe they get a sick day. So that is the only exception. Otherwise, if you make the FedEx Cup playoffs, if you are eligible and so able, meaning you're not injured, you play.
Yeah.
We're all
Sure.
on board with that. Okay. And I think that's the direction it's going to go once these advertisers and everybody. Rory not being there was such a big story. And the funny thing is, it went away once everybody teed off, but it was still a big enough story.
Yeah.
Maybe was it bigger than if he would have shown up and played like dog shit, though? Maybe. Going in, story. I think that the reason that he's allowed to do that now is because there's really no incentive going into Eastlake. They all start at scratch and, you know, top 30, go out there and get them. I endorse that though. I think the whole staggered start, when you start making the analogies to other sports where it's like, oh, so if you're the 1 seed in football, do you get automatically spotted a touchdown when you get to the Super Bowl? Like, or if you're like a 3 seed, you get a field goal, like whatever your seed, that's an inversion of point. Like they don't do that anywhere. If you get in the door, all right, all that other work was just the ticket for admission. Now the games begin. I think you can fuck with the format at Eastlake if you want. Maybe make it 32 people instead of 30, so you get match play. Do all sorts of fun stuff there. But the whole point is we want the best playing every week down the playoffs, just like it would be in any other sport. You don't get although I did make the argument about the bye. Who is on the bubble? And so for the uninitiated going into this last couple of weeks, top 70 go to what we just saw Memphis for the FedEx. Top 50 you're going to go to just outside of DC, Baltimore, that area. I think it's in the Maryland area, Paynes Valley. Paynes Valley? No, Paynes Valley is in, where are we?
Paynes Valley, isn't that
that's
Tiger's Course?
That's Tiger's Course out in the Ozarks, Big Cedar Lodge.
Yeah, that's Big Cedar Lodge. Yeah.
Where the fuck are we this week? What is this? Oh my God, how did I just derp on this? This is great television.
It's Caves Valley.
Caves Valley. Thank you.
Owings Mills, which does not help me with where that is, but
where it's outside. I know it's outside of Maryland.
It's East Coast though.
Yeah. Well, it's in the Baltimore area. I know that. I'm confident in that. It just hit me that I said Paynes Valley earlier when I was referencing Patrick Cantlay winning a couple of years ago. All right, down at I'm going to say 30 to 40. Matt Fitzpatrick at 40, Brian Campbell. So this is who we're watching this week. I mean, obviously the winner is going to be great if it's somebody like Tommy Fleetwood or whoever. Great, good for them. But the bigger stories are going to be who just fell short. Like we see, there was a lot of shit being talked about how Ricky Fowler got in there. And really, he was only in a position to do so on the heels of all of his sponsors' exemptions. And everybody who's trying to make that argument, go sit on it and think about it for a while. At the end of the day, this is an entertainment business. This is not just about getting the best golfers.
And also, he earned those exemptions by doing something at some point in his career that earned it. So I mean, it's just the way it is.
So can I say something really just kind of rude and disrespectful?
Yeah.
After number 30, because you look at I don't know who the hell Jacob Bridgerton is, but Chris Goddard at 26, Victor Hovland at 28, Akshay at 29, Lucas Glover at 30. Cool. These are some names rounding it out. Yeah. And then we got 31, Sam Stevens, Ryan Gerard at 32, Danny Berger 33, Ryan Fox 34, Taylor Pendrith 35, Dietrich 36, Kurt Kitayama 37, Denny McCarthy 38, Brian Campbell 39. Pause. Those are all not household names, but
But
they're names.
They're golf names.
They're golf names.
They're golf
and then
names.
you get
and
to
a couple
40.
of them, like Kitayama's been playing really good as of recently. Ryan Gerard had a good start. Most of his
Kitayama's
points are from
Quadzilla's trending. And Ryan Fox won a couple weeks ago. And I love a Ryan Fox story because I get to talk about his dad, the rugby player.
I know.
But who I'm really eyeing for the sake of let's get these people up there is Matty Fitzpatrick at 40. I'd love for him to make a jump. Siwoo Kim at 41. I'd love to see Siwoo make a jump. Or your boy and mine, Michael Kim at 42. Right. I'd love to see him make a jump. Look who's at 43. Xander Schauffele, Jason Day 44. So my point is right outside the bubble right now, if chalk holds, it's not going to be that fun of a weekend because nobody's really stressing over, Joe Shit the Ragman making it. But there's a lot of names that could potentially make this a super interesting and fun weekend to watch on the bottom half of the leaderboard.
No, I agree. And I think a name that's down there that I think is going to actually, that you stopped just before saying this name, that I think could make a push to make that jump to the top 30, which right now it's about for this guy, Mr. Harry Hall. It's about a little under 200 points of a jump that he needs to make. He is quietly, and maybe not quietly for some, but playing very good golf right now at the right time, to where he's hasn't missed a cut since the Players, and in recent weeks a bunch of top 20s and top 25s, top 30s, whatever. More importantly, when it comes to this course this week, it's not too much of it's a forgiving course, I'd say, is a way to put it, to where
I heard it put this way: the members are not going to be happy with the scores these guys put up.
Right, because they're going to be able to hit it long. They're going to be able to miss, and it's not going to be the end of the world. So the money's going to be made for these guys this week on the green and around the green and just putting up points. Harry Hall in this field is the number one putter in the field. He's the number one strokes gained short game in the field. He's third in birdies or better gained in the field, and he's sixth on par 5 scoring in the field. So he's not the longest hitter because he's only about midway. He's 35th in the field when it comes to driver distance. But all those other stats is leading up to a guy who can make a run to sneak his way into East Lake, I think.
You know the biggest obstacle he has going for him?
What's that? Yeah. It's want to talk about recognizable and popular guys for the Ryder Cup. For those listening on the pods,
Harry Hall is a fan of the short brimmed hat, a la Payne Stewart, or what Bryson used to wear. Cap, but he matches it with a soul patch goatee that looks like it's a Tesla logo. Look at that there.
Yeah,
there we go.
And it's over. And in that picture specifically, it's almost like he can see the picture that's being taken, and he's trying to hold back laughing at himself.
He looks like
holding back a laugh or something.
He looks like the kind of guy who makes fun of you for not knowing the difference between like Earl Grey tea and chamomile, and it's like, really? So Harry Hall.
Wait till you see him at East Lake. It's going to be great.
By the way, if Harry Hall wins this week, I'll shave into for my wife. My roommates might kick me out. I might be doing the show. I'll get actually, I can't make that promise. I'm not going to finish the sentence.
He's not going to win. But
I don't even want to put myself in a position, man. It's like if somebody said, "Hey, do you want to play Russian roulette with a loaded gun that has 100 chambers?" That the odds are 99, they're in your favor. But if I have is not playing an option, because I don't see any upside there. So no, we're not going to be making any bets about facial hair around Harry Hall. I just don't. But I agree. If he shows up wearing the international team colors, dressed and looking like that to New York. So we got a couple minutes left.
He's too far out. I did look out of shits and giggles. I did look. He's too far out, I think.
What do you leave that at home?
He's actually not crazy far. He's 19th, so that's not out of the realm. But I just think that European team is too strong that I don't think he finds a home in that lineup. Okay, but what did you want to fill the last few minutes with? Now you want to see it. You think they give?
Well,
You think
and honestly, it's
Scally cap for the Team Europe on it? Think they'd make them a custom one?
Oh no, they will. They give those guys. So here's the funny story about hats, real quick too, and then I'll go back to what I was thinking. For years, Rory McIlroy, remember like the whole hat thing on the American side about people wouldn't want to wear it for the logo and the sponsorship. For the longest time, Rory would not wear them in international events, and people thought it was that. And he finally said, "No, like they don't fit me right. Whoever we use for our team gear." And so I guess like Nike caught wind, or whoever was like, let's get Mr. McIlroy what he needs. That's what they'll do with they get these options. Like you get one hat choice and two of these, and we'll hook you with that. So all they need is sizes. But back to the crowd behavior, it made me think about this upcoming Bethpage Black. I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned because a person normally has acting as an individual normally has a decent social radar. We all know those assholes who don't. You just get one of those assholes in the crowd of 100, and then that becomes infectious. And we know it's going to happen at Bethpage because it just seems to me every Ryder Cup seems to be going, oh, really? You think that was rowdy? You think that was rowdy? You think that was rowdy? We got guys shotgunning beers on the first hole. Although I'm not worried about that impact because drinking culture has kind of gone to the wayside. These kids are pussies. I'm just kidding. Healthy choices, young ones. So will we see dildos thrown on the course at the Ryder Cup? If you take into account what's going on with the WNBA right now, and I think it's horrifyingly.
It wouldn't shock me.
It's horrifyingly bad, and at the same time, just kind of the whole. As long as you tell us to stop making fun of it, we're going to keep making fun of it.
Well, exactly.
It started with
bully analysis. That's what it is.
If it's not that I want you to be bullied, but it's like you insist on wearing that hat every day, and the hat looks like it does. No, I just wanted to say dildo and see if I get you to react. But I think that's funny that they are dealing with that. And
now they, instead of just like not getting upset about it, they're installing nets around their course.
That was my point. As I saw, and I got to know if that's clickbait or not.
Now I'm saying, well, no, I've heard it referenced a couple times, so I also have not confirmed it's 100% true. But if it is true, I've seen people commenting like, "Oh, they can fit right in one of those holes."
Oh, if you're, it really is weird. It's like you think that you're gonna just if my sense of humor, not even sense of humor, because personally, throwing sex toys onto a sporting event kind of makes me laugh.
Pretty funny.
Could you imagine if like in the middle of the Super Bowl or something, a bunch of feminists were able to sneak in a couple 100,000 tampons and just like right at the kickoff of the second half, just like boom, the field just loaded with tampons out of protest. That's the style of disruption I can get behind. Sure. Dildos on the course and tampons on the 50-yard line. But I think it all comes back to, fan responsibly while you're out there representing the USA and golf this year.
I gotta put it out there now, but the tampons on the 50-yard line, that's one way to plug the gap. Like I couldn't
land the plane, just landed early. We caught some tailwind. We got to our gate early. Wherever you're liking or listening, like and subscribe.
Yes.
And I'll let Andrew take it from there.
No, you said it all.
Gap.
That's it. We're divots and pivots. We're going nowhere good right now. So have a good night. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Hopefully.
Enjoy the playoffs. You will. Love you all. Stay classy.